Hello everybody, welcome back to World Tanks. Vegas Gaming here. And I'd like to start off this video. Sorry for not uploading for the past week and a half and not streaming on Saturday. I do sincerely apologize for that. Once again, my week has been, well actually pretty much this whole month. The entire start of October has been extremely busy for me. So I just haven't been able to upload. So, sorry about that. And this will be the first video back. As you can see, you might be noticing, if you haven't seen my most recent live stream, you may not have noticed the little thing I have there. That covers up chat and random battles. Well, kind of covers it. For the most part it does. And I have that in for the video today. If you want to see more of that, then you would have to come watch my streams on Saturday or Friday, depending. But enough of me talking about that. So yeah, if you want to see more of that, that's also where the stream chat would go. Anyways, I'm sure you read the title of this video, and I know I think I did a KV-1S review before, although that was kind of rushed, and I feel now I can do an actual tank review. So first I'm going to show my qualification, like what Living Rush does, also because it's like the only tank that I probably have qualification to actually voice my opinion. So as you can see here, I'm going to go to here, and I'm actually 100% 3 marks of excellence on the North American server at least. This isn't for EU or RU or whatever. This is for a North American server, so take that for what it's worth. And also on the North American server, I am currently, if this will load, or if you watch my stream you would know, I am currently ranked number 1 in the KV-1S. As soon as this loads, you will see. Here we go. It's loading. Anytime now. There you go. As you can see, I am currently the best player in North America in terms of overall vehicle rating. So now that that is out of the way, let's get into comparing this to some other tier 5 vehicles, like the actually T1 Heavy isn't really a good comparison. I'd say the BDR, KV-1, and VK-30 are probably the closest ones to compare this to. KV-1 mainly because you either play the KV-1S or the KV-1. When you go through the Russian heavy tank lines, you're either going to keep one or the other, or both. Most people keep both, but I'm keeping the KV-1S for now. I might come back to the KV-1, but that's a whole nother matter. So, as you can see right away, the KV-1S just dominates in mobility. The others, they're pretty close. The KV-1 and VK-30 are pretty close in terms of mobility, but still pretty much 100 below. Also concealment, much higher on the KV-1S. And that's because it's, actually I don't understand why, it's about the same size as the KV-1, and it's actually a little bit bigger than the VK-30. So I don't know what that is about. And, well, the BDR is really tall. And let's get into firepower. As you may have noticed, I have 3 KV-1Ss here, and that's for a reason. This one has the top 85mm with 160 alpha. This one has the 122mm derp gun, firing only heat rounds, which, might I add, is a 100% viable option. And then the other one is the 122mm firing only high explosive. So right away, high explosive obviously is going to have the most DPM. That's obvious, it's high explosive. But you can't actually trust that because you're not always going to do your average damage per minute. You can't always pen. Although I must also add, the KV-1S does get 61 millimeters of pen with its high explosive, which is really good if you choose to use derp gun. And the penetration of the 85mm is actually kind of mediocre. 119 is almost on par with the KV-1, really low compared to the VK30. That thing just has a crazy gun. And the BDR with its 90mm has 135 pen. Also, if you notice, if you spam heat in the KV-1S, you actually have 140 pen. That is really good. So, yeah, once again, it's a viable option. The turret traverse speed, it's the best all around. Very nice there. Gun depression. This is where the KV-1S really hurts. 3.5 degrees with the 85mm. That's the only reason why I don't use the 85mm. 8 degree gets beat by the 8 degrees from the BDR. The KV-1, this is the only reason why I would play this over the KV-1S. It's that literally double gun depression with the 85mm. The VK also has 8 degrees, which is extremely good. Beats the KV-1S with the 85mm. And you might see something interesting here. The KV-1S actually has more gun depression with the 122mm. And that's why I personally use the 122. I actually spam heat, so I'm not going to lie about that. But that's for later in the gameplay. So as you can see, aim time, joint best here in this comparison with the BDR and the VK30 if you're using the 85mm. 2.4 is pretty good. That's about tier 8 medium level of aim time. And the KV-1 with its 85mm is actually really awful in aim time. It's equal to that of the 122. So keep that in mind. The 122mm does take a while to aim. Dispersion, as you can see, 0.4. That's actually pretty bad. 0.38 on it's slightly worse than the 0.38 on the BDR, but it just gets absolutely destroyed by the 0.33 on the VK30. Derp gun, as you can see, it's actually, for a derp gun, that's pretty average. 0.56 is an average derp gun dispersion value, so that's kind of expected. DPM, it has, with the 85mm, you have the joint best DPM. Once again, you cannot trust the 2400. And then if you spam heat, it's actually really comparable to the 85mm. Now you might be wondering, why would you choose spamming heat in the 122 over the 85mm? And that's because of the alpha damage. 370 alpha damage is extremely good. You can two-shot every tier 5 heavy tank in the game, every tier 5 medium tank you can two-shot. You can one-shot with heat. Keep in mind, that's not even high explosive. And by the way, the high explosive can really do lots on TDs, especially tier 5 TDs. The heat can one-shot tier 5 TDs. And that's really good. So anyways, let's go to survivability. As you can see, KV-1S is kind of mediocre. KV-1 has the best here. The turret will always get penned, just like the BDR's turret and the VK30's turret. 82mm isn't good. Frontal armor, 75mm, and you actually can't rely on it. It's just an easy pen, just like all the other heavies here in this comparison. Side armor is 60mm. That's where this thing gets its strength. 60mm side armor, albeit it's worse than the KV-1, it's actually still pretty good. Nothing in the game can overmatch you except for an FV 205B1A3. And 60mm is really good, especially when you have light tanks trying to circle you. It's a lot better than 40mm on your side. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is for hit points. It has the joint highest, along with the VK30 in this comparison. Just keep in mind, it's still not that good. It's not like the best hit points. That's kind of mediocre for Tier 5. Mobility, this is where it's got the highest rating. As you can see, 43 top speed is just beautiful. 10 kilometers backwards, it's only beat by the VK30 at 12, which isn't much difference, but that could help a lot. The specific power is 13. That is really good. That's like equivalent to a slow medium. And the 600 horsepower engine is just really nice as well. Traverse speed is a lot higher, so you can really take advantage of that 60mm side armor when getting flanked by light tanks. And I'll teach you how to angle as that good armor as well. So concealment, you don't really have to worry about this. It's still a heavy tank. You're going to be brawling, especially if you use the 122. You can't really rely on sniping. 85mm, you kind of can, but you're going to make your team hate you. That concealment just helps you get to positions better, and it's really not that much better, as you can see. Spotting, it has 340mm, and that sounds bad, but that is actually really good for a Tier 5 Russian heavy tank. As you can see, that outclasses the BDR, and the BDR has that gigantic cupola, which is sad. And it's way better than the KV-1, which has 30 meters less. It's only beat by the VK30 by 10 meters, but that's not much difference. So anyways, that's all for this comparison, basically. Just gonna clear that. And let's get into the garage, and I'll teach you guys a little bit more. So, frontal hull, 75mm. This is about 50 here. This is 75. This is 75. That's about 60. Even if you angle like this, the frontal plate, pen here, pen here. You might get some ricochets over here, but roughly pen everywhere. Also turret, huge weak point, cupola, huge weak point. What you need to do is angle your side armor like this, or this. Just basically make it look like your side is vulnerable, but because you have 60mm of side and these tracks, you can more times out of 10 absorb that damage. So I'm going to do 3 battles here. Yes, this is going to be a long video. I'm going to start off with using the 122mm. I'll only use high explosive, I'm not going to use heat. And then, so let's get in battle while I explain. So, first battle is going to be 122mm cannon with only high explosive. Just so you guys understand how to play, because firing heat rounds and firing high explosive rounds give you different options. And this is a tier 7 battle, so even better, right? I'm going to play as a basically medium, which I can do because I have 43 kilometer top speed, and that is very comparable to mediums. Although they don't have very many good heavies aside from the KV2, Tiger 131, and the KV1. OI experimental, ever since they took away that 10cm, it's not much of a threat. If he's using a derp gun, then that's going to be problematic, but, well, he's probably using it. I would. I wouldn't be able to use that little tiny pop gun. But that's just me personal. Where's our IS? Okay, the IS is going to go this way, the KV2s aren't. That's going to be a little bit problematic as well. It all depends on what the enemies send over here. They might have some good TDs camping in the back, so I'm going to have to be very careful about that. Hopefully these guys over here will be able to deal with that. I'm going to continue pushing up here. We only get to use high explosive this match, So you have to really pick your targets. Aim for tracks. If you're firing high explosive with derp gun, feel free to aim for tracks, unless they're like a paper tank, and you can one-shot it. Also remember, 61 pen and 450 alpha. Very important to remember what your tank can do. Okay, I got spotted, and they have artillery. Oh crap, I missed. That is bad. Oh, please don't. Please don't block me. I don't want to risk damaging my teammate. So this is how you need to play corners. You don't want to poke around unless you know for sure you can out-trade them. Look at that, he bounced that. He has a really good gun on him too. Tracked him there. KV-2. Splashed. Oh wait, no, that was the M44. And if you watch my angling video, you will know never side scrape derp guns. Unless you're stupid like me. But I am stupid, so I'm gonna do that. Blocking some damage here. Oh crap, I can't repair that. He's gonna pen my turret, actually. I'm gonna back up here. I got tracked again. And the E25 is gonna finish me off. That's gonna be really unfortunate. So, yeah. Basically, the plan here was to angle my side. That's really the only way you're gonna soak damage up in the KV-1S. These enemies, they knew what they were doing, and the heavy tank number 6 aimed right here. The way to take this out, if you see the KV-1S side scraping, especially if it's like side scraping on the right, they can actually hide the cupola extremely easily. And if you're brawling, best thing to do, wiggle your turret and block their gun with your gun. Then the only way for them to pen is to sneak a shot into the cupola somewhere here, or to just have enough gun depression to aim down. If they can do that, then you just need to hope that you kill them first. But other than that, main weak points is here, here, and always be aware. If they're angling like this, that is an over angle, and you should be able to pen up here. Never shoot down here if you can help it. Always shoot up here. And if you're a KV-1S with a derp gun, firing high explosive, and they are side scraping, like, for example, say this was facing towards me, and all you see is this, shoot here. Shoot the tracks, track them, and do about 100 damage every shot. Doesn't sound like much, but 100 damage, and that's 6 shots. And you killed a tier 5 heavy tank without any risk to you. So let's just watch how my team gets through this. Oh my gosh, it's a KV-13. I actually want to get one of these. I don't know if they buffed it. I'm gonna have to check into that. They may have, although the HD looks cool. So yeah, KV-1S has a very specific playstyle when you're firing high explosive. It's actually I guess you would call it a team player. If you're firing high explosive only, I must also clarify, with the derp gun, 122mm. Do not fire high explosive in the 85, please. Please, please, please. Thank you. Just gonna make sure that is thoroughly clarified. So, that's more of a support role. You track opponents, and then you let your team do most of the thing. Most of damage and kill. That doesn't mean you can't get kills as well. I'd say the best way to play it is have a mixture of heat and high explosive like I do. I do half of the high explosive is heat. So 40 heat, and then 40 heat? 40 HE and 20 heat. 20 heat is about all you need. If you pen all 20 heat, that's over 7,000 damage, so I'm pretty sure you should be content with that. But if you find yourself losing after doing 7,000 damage, okay, then maybe load more heat. You really don't need more than that. You probably could get away with 10 heat. But that's just if you want to actually wreck. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. If you fight any heavy tank with like say a KV-2, I would use heat and just smack up the front, ideally. And this was a defeat, so we're probably going to do bad in terms of experience, but if you also only run high explosive, you will make profits. So look forward to that if you do use high explosive. So that's one playstyle. High explosive support role. We didn't do very good there. Got 3 shots, and that was already 330 damage. Pretty good. We made 1,000 credits. Isn't so bad. So now let's get into another battle. This time, I'm going to show you a different playstyle. This one's a lot more aggressive. It actually hurts a lot more as well. I mean, when you're being aggressive, you're going to take more hits. That's why side scraping is a very important skill to know. Even if you're playing a medium tank or a light tank, side scraping in general, or knowing the basics of side scraping is good. Especially because then you know what your opponent is doing. So in this battle, keep in mind this is all live gameplay. Sorry about that. I hit my mic. But this battle, I'm going to load heat. As you can see, I'm choosing the heat. We're going to spam heat. It's tier 7 battle as well. So, basically same conditions. And I'm going to go to the heavy tank spot and let's brawl a T-29 and Tiger 1. T-29 is going to be hard to fight actually because the slightly angled armor and the tracks cover the whole side. So that's going to be a little bit tough. But the Tiger 1 will just get decimated by me. When you're playing the heat, that's what I'm going to call it. When you're playing the heat, you need to trade shots. You need to keep in mind that you probably can outtrade every vehicle that you meet. Just the only thing that's holding you back from being a monster is your hit points and the fact that you are a tier 5 vehicle. That is the only thing that holds this thing back when you're using the heat gun or the heat gameplay. So, and the only things that will outtrade you is an IS. But that's a simple play, you just wait until he's fired and reloading. The 140 pen is more than enough to pen weak points and lower plates. That's where you need to aim in the first place. Try to find flat armor. You don't want to hit angled or tracks or spaced armor, ideally. So M4 Sherman's going to come around. I'm spotted. Okay, this is a bad play. Well, it's not a bad play. Just bad situation. That KV-2 can one-shot me, which is very dangerous. Oh, crap. You have to be really cautious. I need them to come forward and hit this Tiger. Right after they kill that Crusader, they're going to start pushing. OI is moving up. Not good, he's going to get spanked. Dang it, I hit the tracks of the T-29 there. I would have pinned the Tiger 1. Let's see what I could do. Now I can get the first shot. Just a little bit dangerous because my allies are in the way. Just disclaimer, this is going to be an expensive round. High explosive would have done that right there. You would have done fine if you fired high explosive in that situation. Just gonna say that. Oh crap, I missed. He's using a big gun too. That's bad. Tiger 1's gonna come around. He fired. I'm gonna pen him. Look at that, 406 damage. Yes, you can high roll in this. It's got Russian bias. 374. Now the only problem here is Tiger's gonna reload before me, and I'm going to die. And that's... the hit points is the only thing that keeps us back from being a monster. If I had just a little bit more hit points, I would have been able to kill that guy. And that's how you play the Heat. You're supposed to play it, at least. Obviously, I didn't do good here. I got isolated by a higher tier heavy tank. That's gonna happen. And that was a good play by him, isolating a tank and then eliminating it. If you want to play with the Heat, then you're gonna be a little bit more support. You're gonna be like a really aggressive support. And you're gonna be really selfish too. You're gonna wait until your teammates take a hit, whether or not it damages them or kills them or whatever. Does not matter. You wait until they get hit, and then you come out around and drop a giant Heat round into them. This guy should be brake checking this Panzer IV. That was bad play. He's not tracked. Why did he stop? I don't know what this guy is doing. Anyways, yeah, so it's still a support role, but in a different way. You're a lot more selfish, so to say, when you're playing with Heat. And so after this, I'm gonna play with the 85mm and give you guys a rough suggestion on how to play the KV-1S with the 85mm. I'll get to the KV-85 later. We'll do a review on that. Don't worry. That will come soon, in good time. His OI. He can still win. T-3485M is firing APCR. I could tell because he's penning straight through the front of the turret, and he's dead. Yeah. So, that was also a defeat, and you're going to see a difference in credits. Then again, I did really bad. I did actually a lot more damage as well. Over double damage with the same 3 penetrating shots. Well, the high explosive rounds last match did not pen, but damaging shots. Same 3 damaging shots, and look at that, minus 20,000. And I am going to say, Heat will be expensive. If you can mix both high explosive and Heat in your gameplay, that's the ideal way to play the KV-1S. I will do that after the 85mm. So now we're going to play in the 85mm. This thing has very mediocre armor-piercing penetration. Absolutely terrifyingly bad gun depression. Really meh accuracy, great aim time. The premium APCR, it's okay. It's not that good, to be honest with you. It's only 159 pen, meaning you won't be able to pen an OI from the front unless you're hitting the frontal, the flat plate in the front. And it has to be flat as well, otherwise you won't pen. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit of an outlier in the comparison here. As you can see, I'm top tier with the 85mm. This thing has much better DPM, and it's going to wreck, naturally. I'm going to go into the city, obviously, because side scraping is extremely good. Either gun you use, you're going to be basically a side scraping tank the entire time. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you are a side scraping tank by default. And I don't care what tank it is, T29, Tiger 1, IS, you can side scrape them, as long as they don't know what they're doing. By don't know what they are doing, meaning they're not hitting your turret. So, yeah, you just need to be careful of that when you're side scraping. If they know to hit your turret, you can tell they won't fire at your side. They'll be trying to get out further to hit your side either at an angle that's pennable or your turret. In that case, you need to fall back and regroup your tactics. Or just become selfish and let your teammates die. Then farm. So I'm going to side scrape out here. Let's see if anybody comes around this corner. I am really sure that somebody will. Just gotta give them some time. That's the thing about the KV-1S. You are just so fast as a heavy tank that you can get into positions really quickly. Look at that. Those guys are still camping on the corner. So, yeah, they're not here yet. This Sav M43 is probably going to push up here. And then me and this SU-85B are going to wreck him. Maybe the Churchill 3 will go first. Okay, so they spotted the... whatever the heck that thing is. I can't read it because there's so many names there. Which is bad. That means they're not going to poke all the way out. I don't want to get too close. You want to be at medium distances, at least, in the 85mm. You have extremely good DPM. Remember to use that. But your armor isn't good. So you just need to keep that in mind. This Churchill 3 will poke out again. Just a matter of time. He will get bored. He will poke out again. He's currently side scraping. As you can see, the accuracy isn't very good. Okay, I'm going to move up. The Churchill 3 is falling back. KV-1S is using the derp gun, so depending on whether or not he's willing to use heat against me, I should be able to do pretty well. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to side scrape this way. They're going to want to push forward. I do realize I'm the only tank left here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to back up like this. That way if they come out here, I can just turn right. If they come out there, I can turn left. And I'm still kind of side scraping. Put a shot into him. Oh crap, I missed. Please bounce. That is not how you angle. I'm gonna over angle my front there. As you can see, he still pens. Kills my driver. Gonna put another shot into him. Gonna put another shot into him and finish him off. He obviously underestimated my reload. Driver's dead again. This guy cannot kill me unless he decides to load heat. And he'd still have to high roll. I'm gonna finish him off. D6, D7's gonna kill me. Unless I can somehow manage to get in. I won't be able to, due to my dead driver. As you can see, 1000 damage down in the corner. So, not too bad. This is also going to be a defeat. Every battle in here was a defeat. And I did block some damage. I hope you saw the capabilities that this thing has with the 85mm. And I have to add, these are ideal conditions with the 85mm. I had flat ground, so the 3.5 degrees of gun depression didn't really affect me that much. And it was a city map, so yeah, everything was close range, and that mediocre accuracy really didn't affect me that much. So, any moment now, this teammate right here in the 38 NA is going to die because he ran into a house. Oh no, you poor guy. T67 is going to get you. There you go. So, I showed you guys the extremes. The extreme, dedicated, high explosive user. By the way, that KV-1S over here on the enemy team was a dedicated high explosive user. So, you saw what happened to him with the 85mm. Then again, that's all because he didn't side scrape. Sorry. So, yeah, that's the thing. Finished top on damage there. Made some crits. You can really make crits. As you can see, 800 only for the shells there. Very cheap shells. Now I'm going to show you how I play the KV-1S with the 122. It's a rough mix of heat and high explosive. A little bit more on the heat side though. But the ideal way to play is knowing what your gun can do and loading the correct shell for the job. Your gun can do roughly 90 to 100 damage every shot. Unless you hit a gun. Then it's probably like 60. So if you understand that, you should do fine. So you see like KV-1 on 70 hit points. You know not to load the heat because you have to aim for flat armor. Just load high explosive and shoot into the tracks. Or if you want to be cheeky, you could try and hit into the engine deck from there. It's roughly the same for the KV-1. And you can actually do roughly... Sorry, I'm sick. Roughly 140 damage, 160. About the same as the 85mm if you hit engine decks of other heavy tanks. Oh, and I forgot to mention, always remember the 61 pen. Remember the VK30.01H that we mentioned earlier? He only has, that tank only has 50mm of armor. So there's a flat vertical plate, not quite the lower plate, not quite the upper plate, but you can hit that and pen with high explosive on the KV-1S every time. Okay, that's a bad idea. I should not poke that guy. I need to back up. Please don't hit me. Artillery just fired at the KV-1, depending on whether or not it's... Okay. Well, Grill and M44. They both have extremely ridiculous reloads, which I don't think is balanced at all. So gonna go over here. Probably not gonna be able to kill this KV-1. There's a experimental over there. Probably do something. Sorry, T-34, but you're in my way. Missed the ground there. He's using the derp gun, I could tell by his shell velocity. Okay. gonna load some heat. Is this guy gonna do what I think he's gonna do? Oh no. What? They captured the base? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was focusing on not dying and doing damage. I should have paid attention. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. I'll do another battle. This is going to be the longest video ever. Probably almost an hour. Let me just check that as I... 40 minutes. Oh my gosh. This is really a long video. But that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far, comment, I don't know. Say cookies in the comments if you made it to 40 minutes. Just put hashtag cookies. And I'll know you made it to 40 minutes into the video. Okay, so 2-7 battle, once again. Gonna go to the 9 line on this map. That is the ideal place to go. You get close combat. The only problem over there is there are really steep hills, and tanks with 10 degrees of gun depression will absolutely wreck me with my mere 5 degrees of gun depression. But that's okay, we can work around that, hopefully. Gonna go over there. This time it's a standard battle, so we won't get capped, hopefully, before I realize. And so yeah, let's continue going over here. Chrome will get spotted in the middle there. We have 2 Type 64s over there in the middle. A little bit dangerous there. I'm not sure if that's the best idea for both of them to be over there. But, you know, whatever floats their boat. They both want to be over there. They can both be over there. Now there's an M41 HMC. Whenever an RD is spotted, the best thing you could do to help your team out, ping the RD. Ping its position, because some people, they may not have heard the thing pop up. Like, my volume really just does not work. Okay. I'm gonna love doing this. If I could get down on flat ground. Okay, never mind. That was planned. Yeah. Just kidding, that was not. I was just locked on and that was lucky. Not gonna shoot that. We'll shoot that. Tracked him there. 141 damage. That isn't bad. That would be a high... Not a high roll. A low roll with the 85mm. Gonna aim the shot in. Dang it, he went into cover. He can't really hit me reliably with his awful gun depression over the rear there. Wait, where's that KV-1? Oh, this might be bad because I'm reloading. Oh, there he is. Never mind. 85 damage. Not too bad. Hit his mantlet there, their spaced armor. So, looks like... I won't be able to. Ah, that would have hit him. I think. So we're doing pretty good. This team's gonna win. There we go, that's how you end the video. I do realize I'm not firing any heat. You don't need to always fire heat. Gonna aim for his tracks there. Didn't track him. Let's hope. Nobody hit him. We penned him with heat. Could have got a little bit more damage there. Unfortunately, teammates damaged him first. Heavy tank number 6 over there. I'm gonna just go in to him. Of course, there's an IS right there. I know that. But he's pretty low health. I think. Pretty sure he's low health. If not, then... oh well. That would be fun, right? Also, we're obviously going to win this. We should win this. Yep, IS is low health. He would be a 2-shot for me. He is a 2-shot. For heat. This guy is going to... He wants to poke me. I could have got a shot into his cupola there. Okay, this guy just shot. Oh crap, I hit his gun. Okay, he missed. There we go. 393 damage. Extremely good roll there. Well, I guess that's not really extreme, but that is a good roll. Go over here now. Don't know how well this E25 is going to do against this HTC. Looks like he's at the rear of the HTC by now. He's going to finish that guy off. We're going to keep our heat loaded. Going to slow down the tank a little bit, so then we can get our heat shell into that artillery. Ah! No, why'd you back up? That was expensiveness. These are 4,000 credits per shell. So, that may hurt us, but since we're firing also high explosive, it shouldn't be that bad. Got his track there. I will admit that was a lucky shot, but who cares? 1,285 damage. Victory. We also penned a heat round for 393 damage. We actually penned 2 heat rounds. So, keep that in mind. If you mix the shells and play smartly, that's not even a real word. Oh well. As you can see, 3rd on damage for my team. That's pretty good considering I'm a bottom tier heavy tank. And normally, heavy tanks actually do worse the lower tier they are in the match. So that's actually a pretty good result there. We're gonna lose only 1,000. Lost only 1,000 credits. If we just didn't fire, or say we magically hit that M12, that would have been a profit of around 2,000, 3,000 credits. So bear that in mind. That would have been a profit. So pretty good match all around. We look at all the criticals. Commander, track and gunner, and this guy. Of course we killed him, so it didn't actually do much, but pretty good. So, anyways, that's the KV-1S review. It's kind of a support tank and aggressive support brawler. And then if you use the 85mm, it's an intelligent trader. That's how you have to play that, I would say. You can out DPM most things, and that's what you need to do. Or out trade because you have good alpha as well. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like or comment letting me know that you enjoyed. 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Bear that in mind, this was a 50-minute video. Unedited and everything because I am trash. That's the only reason why we had to wait through those battles that were defeats. I'm glad we ended the video on a victory, that's nice. And Bagels Gaming here. Oh wait, if you're new to my channel, subscribe for more World Tanks. And Bagels Gaming here. Peace out.